Okay, we are live. No one say anything weird.
That's a good way to start it. It's like, hello, people. I'm just making sure my friends in here don't say anything weird.
I'm talking
Magic.
I'm talking about you, Wolfhead.
Why would I
Oh,
say
damn.
anything weird?
I mean,
Damn.
It's
Aren't you?
Wolfhead, so
It was still damn.
Why would I say anything sus?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
But
Well, your profile picture just makes it look like you're saying something sus because you look like a fucking mutated Luigi.
oh my gosh, one day,
Coming from the one with the profile picture of a pony that's about to lose their shit.
His
like-
profile picture is the cut version of the Luigi's Mansion game over.
I was saying about Duct because it's showing on the stream.
Wolfhead.
hi Faith, welcome to the stream.
But yeah, that's
Wait, Faith is in the chat?
Yeah, she's in the
Yeah.
chat.
Why did
I'm trying to.
I
I have the chat going, like the stream going on my end, so I can see how the contents or whatever going.
But
no.
but yeah, Faith, let us know how the volume of everyone sounds, because this is a new computer setup thing.
Now, Goldius, what his profile picture is Zip being extremely pissed off in the newest.
Okay, all sounds
Tiger's
good.
Tale episode.
So I'm gonna go ahead and switch
Yeah,
to the
sounds about
other
right.
screen.
Let's just say she had a justifiable reason.
Oh, did my
oh,
thing
gosh.
work properly?
Yeah, you're up on the thing.
Oh, sweet.
Gotta move the chat now because the chat's in the way again.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, Renegade,
I
you're
wish
just gonna
I had more expressions with my character.
you're just gonna have the chat coming out of your head, Renegade. That's what's gonna happen.
So that's what my thoughts are.
Fuck. You
welcome
know what?
welcome everyone to today's podcast for The Stalking Dead. First of all, as you could tell, we did reach the 50 follower goal, which I am very happy about.
Huzzah.
Congratulations.
Huzzah! Congratulations.
And if it looks kind of weird today in the layout, it's because, one, I have a newish
Fuck, I just hit my
computer.
mic.
The newish computer is, like, not really new, but, like, it's a Windows computer now, like Windows laptop, so I had to reset everything
Nice.
on the Streamlabs thing. So I had to, like, rearrange the entire layout once again.
I don't know, it looks the same to me.
Well, I had to, like,
Oh.
my OC is now moved over a little bit more.
Ah.
Yeah,
and your
and
Stalking Dead podcast text is like skewed a little bit to.
yeah.
What is it?
Fuck this.
Yeah.
But anyways, to announce, not to announce, to introduce who is in the podcast today, we have Wolfhead Brony.
Hi, it is me, Wolfhead Brody! Yay! Yay!
Boy.
Yes, I know. Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you.
We
Man with a
have
lot of ego. Jesus fuck.
we have Duct Tape.
Damn it.
Dude. Oh my god.
But
why?
yeah, Duct Tape, say hi. We've got Renegade, who you guys know is one of my Patreons.
Hola, also. There we go, if we're playing noises.
And then we have someone new who is a friend of Duct Tape, and his name is Goldius, not to be confused with Golden Fox.
Hello, my name is Goldius Percival. You can call me Gold. Or Goldius. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just don't
And yes,
call.
I've known this duct tape pony for quite a while. Fucking moron.
Oh, hello, Acebiddle. We're doing well today. We have a fun topic planned for today. We have the topic of MLP Creepypastas and Grimdarks. Has anyone in this call either heard or read any of them? Just so I know.
Not
I have
really,
no
but I've heard
idea.
of some of it.
I've usually heard all of them, mainly from Lost. Like, she's kind of how I got into the MLP Grimdark stuff.
Okay, so I'm thinking how it's gonna work out because I wrote down a majority of the ones that we all discussed beforehand. So I'll list them off, and then we'll give our input on them, and if they're really good, if they still stand up today.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so number one,
Just
we have the one that started it all. We have cupcakes.
Boy.
Ooh.
That.
That does
Oh,
not make it
jeez.
sound good, does it?
How are we even gonna do this? How are we just gonna be like, oh, we're gonna remember that story, and then be like, is that story spooky today? It's like,
I mean,
yes, it's very still.
I could
spooky
also
today.
give a short description if I've personally read or listened to them. And then we could see if it's held up or not. Because I think we've all heard of cupcakes at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard
I
of it, but not really at the same time.
Okay, so
Cupcakes.
yeah,
One of the first.
to give a short description of cupcakes, it's the creepypasta that started the entire MLP creepypasta movement, where Pinkie Pie is pretty much a murderer, and she murders her friends, turns them into cupcakes, and feeds them to people.
Isn't it also called Pinky Mania?
Yeah,
Pinkamena.
that's where they got the name Pinkamena. She got that.
What is going on? Okay. Why the mispronunciation?
Oh, fucking, I don't know, because I never heard of how to properly pronounce it.
But
Pinkamena.
Piss off.
But anyways, so she was the one. It all kind of started. This creepypasta started back when I think technically Partio 1 happened.
Yeah.
But then the entire story starts off with Pinkie Pie kidnapping Gilda and pretty much killing her. And then she invites Rainbow Dash over to make cupcakes. And then she tortures Rainbow Dash and kills her.
Yeah, that was one of the first and one of the earliest representations of how fucked up brony fandom writers' minds can be.
Yeah.
And
So
basically,
I thought that was a
Grimdark
no-brainer
is-
already, though.
so
Well,
Basically,
yeah,
it's
it's a
how-
no-brainer, but that was just the start of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just from that description, do we think that still stands as a good MLP creepypasta or not?
It still scares me.
I guess, yeah.
To this day.
I think it
Well,
still
it
gives you
holds up.
nightmares?
Considering the fact that it's the only one fanfic, even though it was started like way earlier in the fandom, it's what made MLP Grimdark rise to popularity than it already is
Yeah.
today.
And plus, it was already in the middle of peak time of creepypasta popularity in general, because the
Yeah.
early 2010s is whenever that stuff started to take off in general on the internet. So
The only
right place,
difference-
right time.
The only difference, and I'll talk about this on a future podcast when we actually get to talk about the regular creepypastas. In
I
general,
wouldn't mind being in on that.
in general, I started off liking the creepypasta fandom, being a part of the original creepypasta fandom. But like compared to stories like Jeff the Killer, which has not aged well, Cupcake still has aged well over the years, because there was that point in that time frame of the show where we didn't see Gilda for a long time until a couple seasons later. And so a lot of people were thinking, oh, Pinkie Pie must have killed Gilda, because like we never saw her again. It kind of fit with the show a little bit. Granted, it was a little dark, but still.
Yeah. How much do you want?
What do you expect from a thing that's like creepypasta, though?
Yeah. But in my general opinion, I think it still is good today as a creepypasta itself.
It's like Hasbro knew. It's like, oh yeah, we might have seen this thing where Pinkie kind of killed Gilda, so we're just gonna do that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
It still holds up in my opinion. It's not personally
I'd
one
say
that
so.
scares me, but like it's one that can stand the test of time because it's just something so unexpected. If you're just like still just jumping into MLP fan made content, it's like it's something you don't expect from a character that normally is the polar opposite of what you're seeing.
Yeah. What about you, Wolfhead and Duct Tape?
You go first, Duct Tape.
Oh, bitch. Okay. All right. So I still say it still holds up to this very day. Not because like it started this whole entire Grimdark thing, but because it still holds up with its grisly detail and basically its choice of words, which actually does very fit in the context of a Grimdark.
Iconic and
And-
nostalgic.
Yeah, iconic and nostalgic.
Yeah.
I can understand why
Mhm.
a lot of people are still scared to read the fanfic. I'm still scared of it.
I would
But
never read
But to
it.
the point you shit your pants?
I never read them. I usually always listen to them, but I think they usually pretty accurately reflect the events that take place in the actual stories themselves when you read them. So
Yeah.
Okay, so what was that episode? What was it called? Party of One?
Yeah, Party of One.
People seem to compare Cupcakes to Party of One, but the truth is that Cupcakes was written before Party of One was aired.
which is so odd when you think about it. It's like like a Mandela effect took place. They thought because Party of One is the first time we ever saw Pinkamena beat Pinkamena. They think that it was because of that episode that Cupcakes popped up, and then you go back and you look and you wonder, how did the fandom come up with a character that was about to be released by Hasbro officially in some of their content? They actually came up with Pinkamena, technically speaking, before then, unless the episode leaks that we were seeing in later seasons were happening back then, and we didn't know about it.
Yeah. So Cupcakes does still hold up to this day. Like, it started it all, and I'm still scared of it, but I'm not, like, scared shitless.
Yeah, so whoever said he'd shit his pants.
Yeah.
That was me.
Of course it was.
You, man.
Love you too, bud. Love you too.
What about you, Wolfhead?
I still think it holds up.
What-
I've never actually read a Grimdark, but for the past year, I have been reacting to Scribblers and Laws adaptations of them on my channel, and I think Cupcakes still today, in the year 2023, it still holds up as a pretty scary Grimdark.
What do you think of?
Only one.
What do you think of?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think of Pinkie Pie being the main character of this?
Pinkie Pie is the main character of a lot of Grimdarks, though. In Silent Ponyville, she was the main character.
Yeah.
And there's another No, she wasn't the main character in Scribbler's thing. She was the last. She was the last character that Twilight went to go see. But for a lot of Grimdarks, and died. Well, for a lot of Grimdarks, Pinkie either ends up being the murderer or being dies in a very sad way.
Yeah.
Because Pinkie is the personification of joy and happiness. So once you place Pinkie in a Grimdark and then you have her die or be harmed in any way, that's an immediate punch in the gut, because it's out of all the characters in the main six that would die, if something happens to Pinkie, that's immediate. Oh god, I don't feel this is serious.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way: if Rainbow Dash dies, I don't give a shit. But if something happens to
Damn.
Bro, both of my top characters were involved in the worst part of that shit. How do you think I feel?
if something happens to Pinkie, I'm upset. I'm immediately upset.
So actually, I was gonna say. I was going to move on to the next one because I don't want to repeat of what happened last night, duct tape, with my computer.
Oh boy, yeah.
So, by the way, Wolfhead, when you were watching Friendship's Tragic 1 and when Pinkie Pie died, I was trying to hold it in. I was just like, don't say the Black Plague. Don't say the Black Plague.
I was trying to hold it in. I was trying to hold it in because it was a genuinely depressing thing, and then Twilight tried to jump off the freaking building, and it's oh my god.
Yeah. Well, that's a Grimdark for you. The endings are very rarely good.
So
or joyful.
Anyways.
Quick question here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys seen the pony.mov shit, right?
Yeah.
The one that Hot
Pony.mov,
Diggity Demon
Yeah.
did?
Shed.mov, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be another topic on itself in a future podcast because I kind of don't want to steer off topics.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I thought that was something close to what's going on right now.
Not really, no, because it's it's an
Okay.
alternative universe type of thing. Those are things in itself I don't want to dive into.
It's more cursed meme content, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah,
I guess so.
but
Can I say something real quick before you move on?
sure.
There's only one fan fiction, one Grimdark that is labeled as a tragedy that I will never, ever either read or listen to.
Oh.
And I'm
What's that?
I'm not gonna say what it is right now, but I will say what it is at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Come back to me at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
If it's not in the topic list.
Yeah, if it's on the topic list, then yeah. I'm jumping out of order here just because this technically takes place after Cupcakes, but it's one that Wolf had just recently reacted to, Rocket to Insanity.
Oh.
Listen. There's two different versions of
Yeah,
Rocket to
there's
Insanity.
there's like
The
there's like a happy
Yeah.
ending, and then there's still a dark and depressing ending.
I prefer to
I listened to the one Scribbler did where it's like the happy ending and everybody like reconciles and gets along. Apparently the one that Lost did is the depressing one, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking about reacting to that one soon.
Yeah, the only thing I know from Rocket to Insanity, the one that you're gonna react to from Watch Pony, is that in general, like, Pinky does not make it. She does die in the story.
Okay, I figured.
And that
Gotta get ready for that.
and that Rainbow just freaking goes insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the dream. All because of the dream
Yeah.
of Cupcakes, which actually was kind of funny because it's like you got a little bit of world building out of that because it's like Cupcakes technically took place in a dream then, and then she gets so freaking paranoid from that dream that she goes and takes out the person that she thinks is going to take her out.
Yeah. And this is also another thing. I'm going to talk about this one next because it's also in the same universe as Cupcakes. You guys probably don't know it because it's more of like a spin-off one that Ra Kitsune did.
Okay.
But Muffins.
Muffins.
Yeah.
Cupcakes, but with
The
Derpy?
Muffin Saga or something.
Yeah,
the Muffin Saga.
The Muffins universe. So pretty much the long and short of the Muffins universe is that, first of all, in this story, in these group of stories, Rainbow is still dead from Cupcakes. That is for sure. And the fact that Apple Bloom is taken under Pinkie Pie's hoof.
Oh yeah.
And becomes a baker / killer with Pinkie and gets her cutie mark from it after killing Applejack.
I do remember that now.
Damn.
And then they also recruit Derpy. And Derpy starts murdering people, but she doesn't know that it's wrong.
The Derpy part I don't remember.
Well, they're
the Apple Bloom becoming Pinkie's
But then-
apprentice part I remember.
But then this is also something weird. So this is like the first time we ever get to this is the first time we heard of Pinkie's siblings being introduced into the story.
Yeah.
And they showed that her parents were very abusive towards the sisters.
Ooh.
So we have Minky and Blinky. Yes, but okay. Let me explain because this is long before they actually got canon names in the show. Because the only time we ever saw them in the show at that point was in the flashback where Pinkie got her cutie mark. And they had no names.
Yeah, that was when Discord reigned.
But still, why did they have to go with Pac-Man names?
That was the thing. And then
and
because Pinkie, and they were trying to like rhyme off Pinkie. But like, and then you're probably thinking, oh, okay, the other one's going to be Maud. No, Maud does not exist in this universe because we didn't see Maud at all in the flashback either. So they have another sister who's the oldest, but was kind of creepy, and she was very depressed. And her family thought, the parents thought, okay, she's evil, because they're pretty much based on like the Amish and all that. And so they locked the older sister in the cellar for many years. And she thought, and her name is Minky Pie. And Minky thought that, okay, I'm pretty much stuck down here forever. I'm not going to escape. And she got her cutie mark with a lock on it. And that was her destiny. It was to stay locked. But when the sisters meet up with Pinkie, they start taking an interest in Pinkie's hobby of killing ponies and turning them into cupcakes. So then they all start doing it together. It's like a family type hobby, I guess. The one thing I like about the story is the fact that Derpy and Minky become like best friends and sisters. Like the energy between them is really cute. And the fact that the only 2 characters out of the main 6 who survive, not including Pinkie because that's something else, are Twilight and Fluttershy, but Fluttershy is all messed up.
Yeah, during
I can't
Insanity.
imagine. It's like Fluttershy is the one that managed to like slip like a pile of butter out of sticky situations. Like she manages to get away from being killed a lot.
The only bad thing about Fluttershy in this situation is that she loses an eye.
Oh,
and then
God.
her cutie mark is pretty much cut off her skin.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it's like
Where'd
bits and pieces of that I remember. Like I remember the whole thing of Apple Bloom becoming Pinky's apprentice at the start. I didn't remember anything past that.
I mean that's pretty much why it's called Muffins, is because it's centered around Derpy pretty much.
Right, because muffins do represent Derpy a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it even represents her own freaking name in later seasons.
But in that universe, I feel like the Muffins universe does work well with the Cupcakes universe, not so much the Rocket to Insanity universe, because even though they're all in the same universe, Rocket to Insanity is in itself another universe because it's all a dream from Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
But I think personally that Muffins works. It kind of expands more on the Cupcake story.
It does feel like a general grimdark world building type of thing that would happen in a demented MLP world like that.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think, just by what I was saying about it? Because you guys have never heard it before.
I agree with you. I agree with you on the sentiment that it's like, in the term of like, or in the face of like building up the Cupcakes lore, then yeah, that's a better story. If you're trying to build up the Cupcakes lore, but you present Cupcakes as like a dream that another pony is having, that doesn't really build off of the lore of Cupcakes. That just goes, okay, what if this was just a dream? And the other pony is like really sleep deprived and losing their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine, I'm sure.
I'm just watching the stream right now, and I see Ducks like does not have his duct tape on him.
Oh,
I think he might have changed his images, like his his reactions.
You could like change your images mid podcast as long as you have the browser thing open for the reactive images site. But anyways,
is that the link that you sent me?
So like
so anytime, like if you were to get a pony image later of your OC or something, you could change.
I wish I could have somebody do that, but once I get like PayPal or whatever set up, I'll fucking
long story short, like if you have multiple images like me, Duct Tape, and Wolfhead do, you could change them mid-stream if you want, or you could change them later after. But like I don't want to go off topic from this again because we explained it last time.
So like as I'm going to say, like I wholeheartedly agree with Wolfhead on the world building part, because like since we're talking about Muffins and the Rocket to Insanity. Going back to Rocket to Insanity, am I the only one who didn't like the not the happy ending, but like the character, the symbiote, the parasite character?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it because like I feel like it's not really necessary. Because like, no offense, Wolfhead, to when you reacted to it, my entire brain was just thinking, what does this have to do with it? Because the entire scenario was around Rainbow having this nightmare, and how does this thing relate to Luna? I have no clue. And why was Luna the only problem I have with the heart hold ending, or like the
happy ending,
the happier one, where the entire one of that one that you react to, is that where was Luna during all of this? Why would
that's what we were saying for the whole first half of the react. I said it. Somebody in chat said it, and then I kept saying it.
Yeah, I'm like, Luna, it's your job to get rid of nightmares. If you had gotten rid of this nightmare from Rainbow in the first place, she wouldn't have had the chance to stab Pinky.
Yeah, so like Parfus is an interesting and like an interesting and good character. I just don't think he fits in that story.
No.
He rather fit in something else. Yeah.
I could see him fitting in like a spin-off thing, probably involving Luna, but like in the universe of Cupcakes or Rocket to Insanity or even Muffins, it does not work.
Angel says, wasn't the fic written before that was established?
Written before what?
That Luna could stop dreams, probably.
Technically, the the comic of Rocket to Insanity is an alternative ending to
Yeah.
the fanfic.
But still,
I'm just gonna be
it's-
back 1 second. Just
Oh, okay.
keep talking.
But yeah, still, like, I just don't see how. I don't know why people would want to make Rocket to Insanity have a happy ending, because then that kind of ruins the fact of the story, I think.
I mean, I don't mind a happy ending personally. It's like, obviously, I think everyone finds out it's like, oh, hey, it was a big misunderstanding. It was just a nightmare. I don't think Pinky would ever actually do that, yada, yada, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
whenever they actually get Dash to come to her senses and, well, not do that to Pinky for no reason.
Yeah.
But like what Wolf had said is that it really doesn't build up to the world building when it comes to cupcakes.
Yeah, now that you pointed out, I can kind of see it like being an alternate timeline kind of thing where it doesn't actually occur, where it's just a nightmare in Dash's head, and then it basically leads to, well, this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say about the villain of the story, I'm more interested in the story of Luna and Parthak's meeting and hanging out than I am Parthas of them meeting and hanging out, rather than I am interested in watching the downfall of their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there was a part in the react where I was like, where somebody in chat was like, this is dragging on a little long, and I was
Yeah.
like, actually, even though Ilya is a great voice actor, I do like the character, but the part between Luna and them bickering for like, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was
It
about to say,
went on
like,
a
this
little
is
bit.
like a long discussion. A
Just
long
say, bro,
discussion
why is
that's
that
not
necessary?
necessary at all.
That's just filler.
But,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm going to move on
Yeah.
from the Cupcakes universe now, because
Okay.
we have a long list here that I want to get through. Next one
Okay.
on the list is Rainbow Factory.
I was waiting for that one.
For those who don't know in the chat, Rainbow Factory is another creepypasta, but this one centers around Rainbow Dash. So pretty much the background of the story is that Scoodloo is going to take her flight exam to see if she can fly, and she pretty much fails her flight exam. And pretty much after that, she's taken to the Rainbow Factory where other Pegasi who have failed their flight test go, and they have this Pegasus device that they have that sucks the color out of the Pegasi who can't fly, because they figured they don't need them in Cloudsdale if they can't fly.
Now, I know it can get a bit confusing, but what we were talking about earlier with a little bit of the Mandela effect with cupcakes, it kind of also happened to an extent with Rainbow Factory, because a lot of people thought that the song Pegasus Device came from Rainbow Factory after it came out, but no, it's actually the opposite way.
Rainbow Factory's song came before the fanfic, actually.
And then
Yeah.
I know there's also, I think the second part of Rainbow Factory is also called Pegasus Device or something like that.
I think so, but I don't really know it that well, so I didn't put it in the list. But the thing
And the
is,
second
like, even Watch Pony got it wrong, where they said, like, you know a fanfic's good if you have a song written after it. And I'm like, that is not true. The song
Yeah.
came
The song
first.
came first?
Yeah, the song came
Okay.
first.
As I said, Mandela effect, it feels like. But no, like, the second part of the story just feels like it's something never touched base on.
Nope.
Like, everybody has touched base on the main first part and everybody knows, but then the second part, I really have never seen a reading off of it.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
it's like
wait.
one that people don't want to dive into because of the topic with Scoodloo being involved in it. It's
That basically says that Schoolin didn't die in the
Yeah,
Rainbow Factory.
but also then there's like this one thing I heard where Scoodloo like ends up in a relationship with Rainbow Dash. I don't want to dive into that, but it's weird.
I would hope not. I would hope not in that case. 'Cause what the hell?
After Rainbow Dash tried to kill
What are you
why
talking about?
We're talking about Rainbow Factory.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't think I would want to be in a relationship where someone tried to kill me the entire time. No, thank you.
I was gonna say, plus, bro, I can't. Is she still like a teenager or something, or is she grown up in that? I forgot.
I think she's grown up.
No, she's a
She's
teenager.
grown up.
Oh, she's
yeah,
a
that would
teenager?
just,
Okay.
Yeah.
that would make it worse.
Well, how do you explain how she's flying?
Alternate universe.
No, actually, no.
probably.
That's the
alternate.
no duct tape. That's the point. Like the entire scenario of the story is that she fails her flight exam still.
Yeah, I'm just telling him, like, how do you explain that she's flying?
I mean,
Jesus
she
Christ.
can't. I mean, she can in that universe. It's just the fact that another friend of hers that she got transported with wiped out, and she basically took a detour from the test course down to go and see how she was doing. That's essentially why she failed her test, because she went and checked on somebody else and they failed her because of it.
Yeah.
What was the name of Scootaloo's friend in that fic? I keep forgetting his name.
Shit. It's
I-
like
Doesn't
on
he-
my tongue, but I can't remember.
I know. He's
Doesn't he
brown.
die in the fic? Yeah,
Yes,
he's
he
brown.
does.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
dies in the fic.
I know the exact character you're talking about, but I forgot his freaking name.
I forgot
It's
his
something
freaking name as
simple.
well.
Orion.
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 Okay.
Oh, Ryan. Okay.
But I think in general,
Thank you,
like
Brian.
to try and move on from Rainbow Factory is just to give our input on if it's a good fic or not. I think it's
Okay.
technically good. There are some parts that are not so good.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into them, obviously, because we would be on here for a long time if we did that. But what do you guys think?
I think the fic is still good today. Obviously, there's some parts of it that are just a little mid,
Mhm.
a little mid, as the kids say, mid, which just means average. But like, Rainbow Factory is kind of like Cupcakes in the sense that like it was one of the very first.
Yeah.
So because
Oh,
it was
yeah.
one of the it was one of the very first, I have to stand up here and say that yeah, I'll read it. I'll listen to it again. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I still feel like it holds up because not just because of it being one of the first, so it has that nostalgia factor for people and also could have given them a scare factor when they were a lot younger, but also because of the fact is like, it feels like, again, just like how Cupcakes was, in a demented G4 world, this could be something that would legitimately happen. Because if Pegasi see you as not worthy of flying because you failed your test, then they figure what other use is there for you than to help with like weather and stuff like that. Yes, it sounds fucked, but I mean, come on, it's a demented G4 world, so it's
Yeah.
kind of makes sense for that type of thing, as sad as it is. But it did spawn a pretty banger song with
Yeah.
that Lost made. Oh my god, that was so fucking good.
What do you think, Goldius?
Well, personally, I never read it, but hearing what you guys are talking about it, I find it very. It's twisted, but it's not bad. Yeah, it might scare the shit out of some people, but
There's ones that are way worse.
Yeah,
though,
there's
I will
some.
say that.
There's some.
yeah,
There's
like,
some on
I
this
was
list.
gonna
That,
say
there's some on this.
I know there's more twisted
Yeah,
shit. So.
there's some on this list that are way
But
worse
it's not
than
that
this.
bad.
I can
But
tell you that right now.
I'm currently looking on kind of like the wiki, whatever, because just so I know what the hell you guys are kind of on about. Just it also helps me out a little bit.
Yeah.
There's one on
Yeah.
here I know is at the top of the scale in terms of demented, but we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
And I think the Rainbow Factory is kind of pretty occultish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, I could see it.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and move on to the next one. This is one
Hey, we just skipped my
Yeah.
opinion.
that no, you said your opinion.
No, I didn't.
I thought
No,
you
he
did.
not. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh shit!
Bruh. Okay. So, I still say Rainbow Factory still holds up to this day. Not because it's like, yeah, like what Renegade said, like nostalgia factor, but because it's like, yes, it is twisted. Yes, it's based on the song, but the way that the author like created this world building of the factory was actually
It was what?
think
building
you
of the
broke.
Rainbow Factory.
I think you fucking died.
Yeah,
No!
your mic cut out. for
Yeah,
a
your
minute
mic
there.
cut
You're
out.
Holy
fine now.
shit!
You're good. You're good.
You're good now.
What were you gonna say, duct tape?
I was going to say that the world building of the factory was actually pretty impressive, and how I'm trying to make sure that doesn't cut me off.
I like how he's doing his best mod
Fucking
impression.
like a robot.
No, he's doing his best mod impression.
Oh god, my screen went to black.
Just because I'm afraid that will happen to me if we stay on a topic too long, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Grimdark
Ow,
Victory is
fucking
great.
wrist.
The next one is one that we also talked about before, the Apple Sleep Experiment.
There it is.
Well,
There's the demented scale pushed up to 11.
Well, actually,
Oh,
Renegade,
God.
I have another one on here that's even worse than this one.
Oh, boy.
But I'll talk about it after this one.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I've never read it or reacted to it because it's one that I
It
wasn't
is
interested in. But
fucked up.
who has seen it or heard from it? Because then we'll just let them talk.
I
Besides
reacted
me.
to that fan fiction,
Okay, so
and it has one of the most horrible endings of all time.
Okay,
we'll get to that when
so-
you get to me.
okay, so let's just. I think the only ones that I've seen it are Wolfhead and Renegade, probably.
And now Duct Tape's OC is just uncomfortable.
So how about this? I'll let Wolfhead talk first since he did a reaction on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so go ahead.
Apple Sleep Experiment. Big spoilers for Apple Sleep Experiment. I don't quite remember why Applejack was sleep deprived. Can someone chime in here?
Oh,
and
because
remind me?
they were, as far as I remember, the reason why that happened was, I think, because Filthy Rich was trying to take the barn from them or something like that. And he was being,
Granny Smith was in debt.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
and
correct.
they were trying to swipe the barn from him and being a really hard bargainer, and this just made Applejack go absolutely fucking ballistic. Like, she lost her mind, Rocket to Insanity, Rainbow Dash style.
Okay, so not Rainbow Dash. Fucking Applejack.
The other side
Applejack
of
is
Ashley
in-
Ball, should you say.
Yeah, the second half of Ashley Ball goes insane, nearly kills all of her friends. But Twilight develops this serum that will put Applejack down. Not like
Sedate.
terminally. Yeah,
Not sedate.
yeah, sedate. You're right. Sedate Applejack. This
Sedu her.
ending fucked me up a little bit because right before they sedate Applejack kicks Apple Bloom into a tree, and you never ever get a follow-up about what happens to Apple Bloom. Either Apple Bloom is dead or she is paralyzed, and the other
Or in a coma.
thing, or in a coma. And the other fucked up thing about the ending is that I believe Twilight set Rainbow Applejack up to make it seem so that she won't get in trouble for it. So she really put Applejack in prison for the rest of her mortal pony life, and their friendship is over. And she better hope that Applejack never gets out of that, because if she gets out of that, it becomes a Kill Bill story really fucking fast.
Fuck.
Twilight
yeah.
definitely
Next thing we know,
I can see Applejack's actions as not being justifiable in any way. I could understand if they put her in jail because of that, but the whole thing where it feels like it's a setup by Twilight, and then Twilight just freaking sticks her in there just to save face, to an extent, it almost feels like what happens in 246 Great, one of my personally hated episodes, where she basically just set the whole thing up, it felt like. She set the whole thing up just for a test, and it's like, what the fuck?
I gotta go back and listen to it because I really want to know what Twilight said, because it was something political she said, where she was like, oh, Applejack will take the downfall and she will get away scot-free.
When does
Twilight will get away scot-free?
when does Twilight never say something political?
Literally.
never.
She's an
She kind of
important
has
there.
to. She's the princess of friendship.
She's the princess of friendship, but she has to literally learn politics.
I think technically,
Twilight's the living definition of politics. I'm sorry, but that's the best way I can say it.
I think technically Renegade also put his points in because he had to support Wolfhead with remembering certain things.
Yeah.
Well, you made me remember certain things. God damn.
That's why your OC looks like that now. Okay, I get it.
I think just by what you guys have been saying, it definitely does well as a scare factor of a creepypasta or a grimdark.
I agree.
It does feel realistic,
Yeah.
something that could actually happen to someone under that level of stress, especially when Applejack's whole life is that barn.
Yeah.
I mean, it is based on the Russian sleep experiment.
Yeah. That will be
fucked up. That was
if we end up doing the regular creepypasta as a discussion later, I will definitely dive into those ones more. because the fact that it's based off of that one says something about how dark it is.
Yeah.
Can I say ask your guys' opinion about a certain Grimdark? Once after we finish this topic up.
Yeah, after we finish the topic up, yeah.
Yeah, all good.
But yeah, so can we all agree that it's pretty terrifying of a story?
Yeah, it's just
without a doubt.
It's just more realistic. It definitely seems like something that could even happen in the real world. If
Yeah.
somebody
It
has.
has. It has happened so many times.
Stress.
Yeah, it's sort of like what we talked about in the movie, in the horror movie remakes, saying about like how Leatherface and It and all that were based on real people. And the fact that this can be a legitimate thing that could happen in real life, and it's terrifying in that sense.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
The one that I'm going to talk about next is the one that I thought you guys were going to mention about it being the worst. You guys have probably never heard of it. Now I'm thinking about it, but Sweet Apple Massacre.
Sweet Apple.
That's the one that I said I was not gonna read.
Never mind.
You don't
always
have
gotta mix up. That Sweet Apple Massacre is the one that takes the fucked up levels up to 11.
Yeah,
that's the one that I was thinking.
I don't want to.
That has nothing to do with Fluttering Massacre, right?
Like,
no.
Big Mac, my guy. What
We're
the
not.
fuck?
We're not. We're not going to
doing?
stay on the topic too long because obviously it's not a fic that I want to go too much into detail
It's
with.
very fucking just. Oh my god.
It's
why?
disturbing.
Like,
it's very
dude.
disturbing about Big Mac. It's just is.
Dude, like,
See,
what?
here's the thing. The author wanted to create the most fucked up shit in the entire Brony fandom, and it worked.
In that case, it did fucking work. Because seriously, it's like Big Mac just had so much hatred for no reason. It's like, I guess they're basing it off the fact that the dude is not a stallion of many words, and any emotion that he has, like rage, sadness, whatever, is like built up in his head. But even still, it's like, that is just not a fucking way to, like, have him convey. I'm surprised they left that on YouTube with the content that was in it. I'm just going to say that.
Like, what the fuck?
Like I said, I don't want to stay on the Sweet Apple Massacre too long. I just wanted to bring it up because you guys thought that the apple sleep experiment was messed up. This takes the cake. This takes the top of the cake for that.
This takes
if any of you guys in the chat go to look it up.
What the fuck?
If any of you guys in the chat ever go and look it up, I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, just beware that it's not for everyone to read.
Search at your own risk.
I would if it was on a show or a movie, it would be rated R for sure, or even rated X.
Without a fucking doubt.
Or rated X, like Clockwork Orange.
It would be rated A for adults.
No, it'd be rated X
specifically.
Be rated
X or A.
No.
Anyways, the next one I want to talk about is one that I personally like, and I know that Wolfhead has done a reaction to it before. Something Sweet to Bite.
Yeah.
Is that the Candymare story?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Goldius,
can I tell?
Let me just give the backstory on the Something Sweet to Bite for Goldius, since I like this story a lot. So pretty much the long and short of but the long and short of this story is that this is a fic where it takes place literally on Nightmare Night. We also have spin-offs of this fic, but I don't like the spin-offs all that much because they make no sense. But like, so pretty much like this guy, he created the Candy Mare, and he pretty much messed up in the fact that he made it so that way this pony like wants flesh from other ponies in order to eat.
Yeah.
And she is completely made up of candy, like nothing else.
I honestly thought when I had first seen the Candy Mare, it was like some weird looking version of Pink Amina, because she has a very Pink Amina-ish vibe design going with like the main style.
But
it's just like you're creating something and then they stab you in the back. You're just like, no, I created you. You can't do this to me.
But pretty much like this is like another way of them describing like why we have Nightmare Night, and that they they give offerings to the Candy Mare, like leave candy by a statue. I think they leave it by the Nightmare Moon statue, actually, now I'm thinking about it from the story. And
So we're talking like very old traditional Halloween type of theme here.
yeah, it's sort of like the take on the Sleepy Hollow legend, I guess. But like the only difference is this is like their way of explaining like why they have Nightmare Night and why they give candy. Because if you remember from Lunar Eclipsed, when we first saw Luna after she was reformed, they were giving candy to the Nightmare Moon statue, and we were like, why do we have to give candy to this statue? But okay. And it's their way of like keeping the candy mare away. But the thing I don't like about the story, there's so many good things I like about it. I love the candy mare's design. I love the story overall. But when they adapted it to an audio drama is where I got so bothered. Because
it's like, yeah, this Lost thing is, it's either Lost or Scribbler that did it, I forgot, but,
actually, no, it was someone else who did the audio drama.
Oh, okay.
But,
I just remember like the little visuals and stuff like that. I think it was Lost. Yeah, it was Lost that did that. I remember now.
Yeah,
she was narrating it. But
Lost,
the reading
thing
of it. Oh my god!
Like the thing with the original audio drama that I listened to when I was like in middle school when this thing came out. Oh my gosh, the audio stuff that they put in for the sound, like for when Applejack is being burned alive in a cauldron of caramel.
Apple Bloom. That was Apple Bloom.
No, it was Applejack. Applejack
was
fell.
It Applejack?
Yeah, Applejack fell into the cauldron where they were making caramel.
Oh yeah, she fell into it. Apple Bloom was in there to begin with.
Yeah. And the sound of the blood curdling scream from Applejack. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hated that. And like the fact that the way whoever voiced the Candy Mare, oh my gosh, they did a great job with that. It's like the way which she says, "Nightmare Night, what a fright, give me something sweet to bite." In the way that it sounds in your ear if you're wearing headphones, oh my gosh, it just sends shivers down your spine.
Lost did that no favors. It's just there's so many. Like I will personally say, not many as any creepypastas have really fucked me up in my adult years, but that one did. Kind of like how Wolfhead was afraid with Cupcakes. That. I wouldn't say I'm afraid, just more disturbed. I was more disturbed and fucked up by it for the next couple of days after I had first listened to Lost's reading of it. Because not only does she just go into the grim details, she also has the noises like the silver spoon part and then the part with Pinky at the end. I'm like, oh my god, stop!
But Wolfhead, what would you want to give your input on for this?
I wanted to look at my channel to double check. I don't think I reacted to that story. I think I reacted to the one Scribbler did, where it's like "Home Sweet Home," a Candy Mare's Tale. Is that a retelling of the Candy Mare?
No, it's just a spin-off.
No.
Yeah, the main one I think is still on Lost channel. At least what I was seeing the main one.
Hey, Spoka.
Yeah. Yep.
I found an image about the whole Candy Mare shit.
Yeah.
With Apple Bloom, and I'm putting it in as a spoiler in the texting channel. They got you know how you guys were like the discussions.
Oh yeah.
Because you know how you guys were trying to figure out if it was either Applejack or Apple Bloom.
Yeah, I could have sworn
I think this will answer your question.
Let me check.
Okay, so
that was Apple Bloom.
Okay, I could have sworn it was Applejack though.
Like, yeah, so I was.
No, it looks like Applejack was pretzeled.
No, yeah, I think what happened was, Apple Bloom was in there initially, then Applejack was trying to get her out, and then the Candy Mare shows up, and I think gets what was in the cauldron all over Applejack, and then eats Applejack from that.
Okay. But yeah,
part of her basic fucking mission.
All I'm gonna say to that, Wolfhead, if you get to that, Jesus Christ, just be ready for some pretty fucking like detailed moments, and the sounds and the visuals do not help.
The ending
One thing that's always been apparent to me whenever I listen to these audio dramas is the sound engineering in each and every one. They're really good at putting those sounds in.
Good, and it works, because like I said, that's part of the reason I got fucked up. It's like the voice acting, the fucking like blood-curdling screams on top of the freaking cracking or sloshing noises and stuff like that they were doing. Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, I have those sound effects too.
But
so.
but Goldius, for someone who has never seen the Candy Mare, what do you think of her design?
That's some twisted shit there, bud.
Twisted shit.
That's some twisted shit.
That's a
Twisted shit.
That's a twisted
But-
sheep.
Okay, honestly, they look like... Okay, for what I just showed in the discussions, they look like, almost like a type of zombie, but also mechanicalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
could
know
be
it's actually
wrong.
all organic.
I could be wrong, but I think that this is the one time. Well, actually, no, never mind. I keep forgetting that Fluttershy is a ball of butter and she escapes death. But okay, like Rainbow Dash for some reason
Yes, you
is
fucking did that,
nowhere to
Angel.
be seen.
Yeah, that's
It's
not my.
like, yeah.
That's something I realized. Like Rainbow Dash wasn't even involved in the story
Yeah, it's
at
like
all.
for some reason Dash was nowhere to be seen, but then you
Mm.
remember in the usual Halloween stuff, like she was floating around pranking everybody with a storm cloud. And it's
Yeah.
like, you would think they would at least put her run around pranking people in there. But it's like, Fluttershy gets away, and then after she runs off, we never hear from her again throughout the rest of the story for some fucking reason. And
thank you in thank you in the chat for saying that you like the simple vectors that we have.
Ah!
Is this,
Fuck,
this
except
is
for
just,
me.
yeah, well, this is just easier for us to show who's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike how
Those-
Golden does it, because when Golden does it, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just too complicated for me to try and do.
Those are the things that I just never understood in terms of that story. Is like, why Dash just never shows up at all, and then when Fluttershy gets out of her house and escapes from some of the zombies, she never is heard in the story. She's never heard from in the story again.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to do with some kind of Walking Dead type of fucking logic.
There
but
actually,
you never know.
there actually was a work. There was like a work in progress comic thing that was going on. I only remember this because I saw it on YouTube once, and I can never find it now. And they never finished the project. There was a project called The Trotting Dead that they were doing,
Oh yeah,
where it was like based on the show, where Applejack
Walking Dead.
where Applejack wakes up from a coma, and sees everyone is turned into a walker pony.
That's terrifying.
But in itself, I don't want to go into that because we're not talking about that today because that's not really a finished project. In general, I think the Candy Mare still holds up as a really good Grimdark because, one, it's terrifying. Two, it kind of gives us backstory to why they celebrate Nightmare Night.
To an extent, besides the whole Luna thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, like, in general, it's a really good story. Like, I love it. And I love the Candy Mare in itself.
That I'll definitely agree to. Like, as fucked up as it made me, lost dramatization of it, she definitely made it one of my more favorite stories, along with Cupcakes and Rainbow Factory, where like just the level of like the whole town of Ponyville's involved in it. They try everything they can to stop the Candy Mare, and there's just absolutely no way. And then, like, by the end of the story, they're literally just, they're done. Like, I'm not trying to
Because
say too
everyone's
much
eradicated.
in case Wolfhead wants to still look at it. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to say too much.
let's not spoil
But,
it for him
like-
in case he does want to react to it later. Like, maybe it's like a Halloween
Yeah.
thing with some people, like, have a group of people react to it with
Not a
him.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Like, Wolfhead,
Yeah,
you can
it's-
have me watch it with you so I can give you background information if you want to for Halloween.
That's if.
Everybody
Well,
that
I doubt I
wants to
will.
watch, everybody that wants to watch can be in the chat. I always have to like react to it like myself, so I can like be immersed in the story.
Okay.
But you could be in the chat
Ah.
Okay.
if you want to watch. Just be in the chat and give me like notes
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, because I think it's a good
Yeah.
story for, like, Halloween.
But yeah,
Really
the,
is.
the
It really is a
detail, the
good
gore, the overall storytelling, I feel like it did it well.
Oh,
Like,
thank
no
you
matter
for
what
the-
they did.
Thank you for the follow.
No matter what they did in that story, nothing worked. That it's
Yeah.
just insane.
Oh, hi, Golden.
Not to be accused of Golden
In the
Fox.
No, just
But
just
I'm
in the
gonna move
chat.
on to the next one because we're not even halfway through with this yet.
Is it okay if I quickly say one?
Yeah, go ahead, but let's make it quick.
Fallout Equestria.
Okay,
That's not a Grimdark.
That's not a Grimdark. And logic.
Yeah, that's more of a fan made.
Yeah,
that's more fan made.
If my boyfriend was here, he would tell you the same thing. It's not the same thing.
It's
No,
not
okay,
a
my bad
Grimdark.
then.
Based off the
Like I
Fallout
said, I'm
series.
using websites,
Yeah.
and so I said it's like Grimdark and that. I'm like,
Yeah,
because
I don't
never
trust
heard
the
much of most of this shit.
I don't trust the websites to look for
Fair enough.
creepypasta stuff. But yeah, in Golden, just so you know, only close friends and all that join the podcast. Because we don't want too many people joining in, because then it would just go off topic.
At least you're
Oh,
at
yeah, for
102% for your follower goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least.
I'm sorry about that, Golden. Yeah, I don't want to have to like tell people like what not to do. You know.
What not to do at a
seeing,
stoplight.
Seeing the 102.00% is starting to piece me off.
Anyways,
Oh, my Lord.
Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is one that we kind of discussed a little bit with Golden Fox on one of his streams, like as an after show thing. Little Miss Rarity.
Oh God!
Little Miss
heard of this
Rarity,
one.
the Tumblr fic. Let's go.
I know.
I've seen
Wait, hold on.
all the pages.
I know that it's technically a Tumblr thing. I know that it is,
Yeah.
but in general, like it still like holds up for a really good fic, because it gives us a lot of stuff about Rarity, and it makes her like, okay, so long and short of it, Goldius, if you don't know what Little Miss Rarity is it was originally a Tumblr blog where Rarity is working and her cat Opal accidentally scratches her, or not accidentally,
On
like
the eye.
literally scratches her on the eye. And
Yeah.
Rarity finds out she actually likes the idea of inflicting pain on herself.
Also, she's a masochist. Or-
Yeah.
She's a
And
masochist.
she got
Yeah,
to the
masochist,
point,
I'm
she
sorry.
even got to the point where she killed her own cat, took out Opal's heart, put it in a Pinkamena doll, because she's obsessed with Pinkamena, and the doll comes to life later in the blog, but the fact that she also brings Sweetie Belle into it and like tortures Sweetie Belle is like, oh no.
It's like, okay, yeah, not to mention there's a lot of risque content going on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Little
Oh
Miss
yeah, it gets perverse.
Yeah, Little Miss Rarity is also it's another one that would be on the realm of,
ASF.
it would be on the realm of like
Rated R,
rated R,
X.
rated X, yeah. It's sort of the same with Doctor Hooves, like the Discorded Hooves thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck off.
It would be that type of thing too. Like it's in the it's in the same realm. But I don't want to go into Discorded Hooves because he's technically not a Grimdark or a Creepypasta. But Little Miss Rarity is now known as it because she also branded herself, where she has like a branded heart on her chest.
Just things get like that is by far the most NSFW grimdark in the fandom. Like I have not seen one that has delved into risque content more often than that story does. And it's like
I know that a lot of people.
Sweetie Belle a part of that.
Yeah,
Why?
I know that a lot of people compare it to Sweet Apple Massacre being very dark and all that about its content. It's not as bad as Sweet Apple Massacre. I can tell you that right now. It is not as bad.
Later on, it gets really fucking wacky, though. Like, I have actually, like, when I had a couple of former friends, like, they had the entire comic up to the point that it was at downloaded. And I think we might have gone through all of it. I think so. But it gets really fucking wacky down the line. Like, where we have the grimdark and lewd parts. Later on, it just gets straight up wacky. Like, everything we know from the early bits of the story are thrown out the window, and you get this one character that feels like Discord with the mix of the Joker. Like, it is so fucking odd.
So,
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may or may not have the full entire comic in my hard drive.
I mean, hey,
I'm not surprised.
It's still ongoing as far as I know. Like, I think it's still ongoing, but as far as I'm aware...
It's not ongoing. It's not still going.
It's not ongoing. It's actually gone.
Yeah, they stopped making it. I had this conversation with Golden Fox about it, that they stopped making it for specific reasons.
Damn. Well, As far as I know, the creator of it, Lil Miss J, I check up on their stuff every so often. They're still doing things. Sometime it'd be SFW, sometimes NSFW, so they're still around. It's just that they'll always mainly be known for Little Miss Rarity because they're the creators of it.
Yeah. So to finish off on Little Miss Rarity, I think it's still a good grimdark. It's not a creepypasta because there's no other story written around her. It's just it's just a grimdark Tumblr blog thing. But it's still pretty good. But it's one of those other ones that's like really high up there in the MLP creepypastas, next to Rainbow Factory, next to Cupcakes. But it's in the same realm of Something Sweet to Bite because it's not based on like a main character. I mean, it is based on a main character, but like it's not really a creepypasta per se. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's more grimdark than anything, but for me, I'll just say the earlier stages of the comic, whenever we have the main details of what goes on, I want to say up until the point where Rarity is in the hospital and stuff like that, and then she wakes up and she starts making it her actual life. Yeah. That is, after that point, after a while, and Twilight gets involved again and wonders what's going on, that's when I feel like the quality kind of took a bit of a drop off, because then it's
Twilight needs to not be involved in these things. She just needs to leave it alone.
I can understand it. Like, Twilight is just the one that gets concerned. She's wondering what's going on, and this is already in the realm of fucking Cupcakes and Pinkamena existing. I mean, come on, Pinkamena exists in this shit too, so that's totally concerning.
I mean, Rarity went to the point where she put her cat's heart in a Pinkamena doll.
It's like, okay, I don't know where that obsession where Pinky came from and where it has been, but all right then. But no, literally just like Twilight, I can understand being there in that case because she's wondering what's going on with Rarity, and at that point I'm thinking everyone's already aware, including Rarity, of what Pinky has been doing. So it's like she goes to check up on Rarity, she gets involved in that way, and then when she gets involved the second time around is when that wacky-ass character I'm talking about comes in, and that's, in my opinion, where the story kind of takes a quality drop off. Like, you'll still have bits and pieces of like risque moments, like Dash and her thing that she ends up getting into. And then you have other moments where there's like blood and stuff like that, where I think Twilight like loses her freaking teeth or something. But other than that, mostly wacky, like mostly what you'd expect from a typical Discord episode. And like I said, this guy kind of reminds me of like that and a mix of the Joker in a way.
I'm gonna move on to the next one because it is kind of we're kind of like staying in Little Miss Rarity for too long that I needed to, because I didn't want to go too much into it, because it is one of those other ones just like Sweet Apple Massacre where it's like a topic that
risque.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. This is one I found out about through Watch Pony. It's called The Cough.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's kind of popular.
That one, oh my god.
So
that's so short and sweet, The Cough.
So, like, for those who don't know, in the comments, The Cough is pretty much like all the main six are in a room, and it's all quiet, no one's talking, and then they hear a cough, and then they decide, okay, we need to get rid of whoever's coughing because it will spread. And pretty much like they go through, they do kill one person, but then they realize they hear a cough and it keeps going.
Like Flutters, I think it was Flutters, but it was like, bro, don't y'all have hospitals? Don't y'all have vaccines? Like, I'm sure you have at least basic medicine to fix that. Why is it necessary to kill each other?
The thing that it reminds me of, it reminds me of this really dumb horror movie that my mom had me watch with her called Don't Blink.
Oh, I heard that one. That one's pretty fucking retarded.
It's a stupid movie, but like the fact of like the movie is like everyone's like there's like a thing where like everyone starts dying or like disappearing, and as soon as they blink, someone disappears.
Okay.
By the end of the movie, they have no one around anymore, and like only one person's left. But like it kind of reminds me of that scenario where like they cough, they kill them off, and then they figure out there's another person who's coughing.
It's like, bro, it's like, I'm sorry, I believe I just had a tickle in my throat, excuse me. But no, like, it's like the equivalent, it's decent enough, but it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like the whole, like, you guys probably have, like, basic medicine it's probably like a common cold or something. It's like, bro, you're essentially comparing that to if someone got the common cold and then all of a sudden the people that are living around them are slitting their throats or something. It's like, what does that solve?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
Sounds
have
like
a
a plague
question.
doctor type of thing.
Yes, Wolfhead?
I have a question for both Shoka and Renegade.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the beginning of any zombie movie ever?
No, I am not.
Not
For
Well,
yet.
that explains why you have that opinion.
Yeah, usually when
I
it comes
mean-
to beginning of zombie movies and shit, it always starts with like somebody getting sick or whatever,
Yeah,
I mean-
and then just
what
starts
the
spreading
was,
to shit.
I think what the creepypasta was going for is the beginning of a zombie or like some kind of very infectious disease outbreak.
kind of like-
where,
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna-
can see it.
I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of like the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead, where it takes place during when the breakout starts, like the outbreak, and like
yeah.
people are just like upright like killing people for no reason, and they don't know how it started. They still don't know how it started, to be honest. But like it kind of is in that regard where like this outbreak starts at the beginning of the story, and they're trying to figure out like, okay, how are we gonna get rid of it?
In that scenario, I could see it definitely working because of the fact it's like The Walking Dead, like when you stop to think about it, where it's something like this could happen. This could legitimately happen if something went terribly wrong in modern medicine and someone made such a terrible disease that it could possibly do that.
Yeah. I'm not going to stay on the Walking
mean,
Dead
but-
topic because that's a whole nother discussion that we can do for
I
another
mean-
podcast.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. So, like, let me tell you something about the cough.
Mm-hmm.
While a lot of people may be like, they're confused on what the cough actually is when it comes to world building, there's no world building at all. They left it as vague as possible, and I pretty much like that because it makes you come up with theories or interpretations on what the fuck is happening right outside.
It's like,
It
what,
makes you think.
who's got what?
That's what you're trying to
are
say,
the
help
cause?
makes you
Had they
think.
not tried to kill each other?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I appreciate the cough as a creepypasta because, sure, it is very simple and it probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but a lot of the time, like, it can work in that universe for some reason.
The idea that there is an infectious disease and it spreads with a fucking cough, and it's so bad that if the main six are stuck in a room and someone coughs, they're like, all right, we need to get rid of whoever is coughing. But it is spreading so fucking fast that the instant they cough, they're done. So, like, if you kill Fluttershy, boom, and then somebody else coughs, at that point, you're just like, well, we're all fucked now, aren't we?
Yeah, because literally it's like you're in the same room with the one that coughed in the first place and started it. It's like I said, the most terrifying part about that is the fact that this can happen in the real world if something were to go terribly fucking wrong whenever it comes to modern medicine. Like, there are so many terrifying things being tested in terms of diseases, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. It's like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Gonna start growing mushrooms out of my face.
yeah, so cough, it's a good creepypasta still. I recommend for the people in the chat to go listen to it or read it because it's very good. The next one we're talking about is one that is kind of in the same aspect of cupcakes, but not really, because it's based on, surprisingly enough, Twilight. The Experiments of Twilight Sparkle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where pretty much
I
like
think I've heard of this a little bit.
So
Oh,
pretty much the long and
fucking
short of it
Christ
is that Twilight is starting to run out of like friendship ideas, like friendship lessons.
Okay.
Sort of like the one where she missed a friendship lesson. But
Yeah,
instead of
it's
that,
sometimes worse.
instead of that, she decides to start doing experiments on all of her friends.
You deserved, like, I already think she deserved to be slapped in the 2017 movie with snapping at Pinky. Like, she would deserve to be fucking knocked out with a frying pan and thrown into a psych ward with a straitjacket at that point.
Yeah. But there's not much I can say
Fucking
about this
Christ.
because I only know about it through Watch Pony again. But I've heard surprisingly good things because this is one of the stories besides the Dollhouse of Twilight or Twilight's Dollhouse. Besides that one, we don't have a lot of stories centered around Twilight as the main character for Creepypasta.
Yeah.
I think it's because
She
people are
just-
afraid to touch her.
She just inserts herself in most of these anyway. I mean, like we just talked about earlier, whenever it comes to Little Miss Rarity, she kind of inserted herself. I can understand because she is the caring
Yeah.
type and all that.
Or-
and wants to check on her friends,
like
but
in
she
the-
just pops up like,
or
"Hi,
like-
I'm here."
Or like in the recent one that Wolf had reacted to, she just inserted herself, like saying that she has a crush on Rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Which in itself,
lot of
we
people-
didn't get a good ending
Yeah.
on that either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless someone else has seen this creepypasta and has more information on it, I don't have a lot of information on it, and I could just move on to the next one.
Duct Tape's image for his OC right now is kind of an accurate representation of how most people would feel in terms of these creepypastas.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, I do have a question.
Yes.
In the event that you're making a creepypasta and Twilight is the antagonist, is it too easy to make her like a mad scientist? How many
Yeah, it's
creepypastas
super fucking
feature-
easy.
How
Yeah.
many people like just pivot on the idea of like Twilight being like an insane like just scientist doing experiments on her friends?
I mean,
She's
that's
a poetic science nerd.
that's pretty much where we got the mad scientist version of Twilight was from this story, I think.
Honestly, they could
Oh,
even
man.
make stories more about her these days, where obviously we know what happens in G5. Apparently, Opaline, like, somehow took down Friendship and backed Twilight into a corner. But, like, the thing is, like, they could make it to where the power from being basically the ruler of Equestria and Princess of Friendship could go to her head, and she starts abusing her power in really fucked
Yeah.
up ways. Like, that is not hard, to be honest.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one because we're almost done with the list. We have a couple more to talk about.
Okay.
This is one that I also heard about through Watch Pony. I heard a lot about these through Watch Pony, but A Puppet to Her Fame.
Yeah!
That's how I found out about that one. Like, I haven't fully seen the story personally,
So-
but I know it's about Octavia and
Yeah.
her bad childhood.
Yeah, so this pretty much is a creepypasta / grimdark about Octavia and Vinyl, which is very rare that we get ones with Octavia in it where she's the main character, because I think the one about Vinyl I'm thinking of that I didn't list because I don't know about it that much is the one where she's like a vampire, but I don't really count that as a grimdark or a creepypasta because that's just what a lot of people thought she was when she was early
Also
on in the
spawned-
fandom.
Also spawned a banger song eventually, by the way.
Yeah, but like with the Puppet to Her Fame, like you said, it's mostly about when we get like the backstory of Octavia pretty much in this story where we find out that she had a very terrible, crappy childhood. And that she was pretty much forced to play the violin or cello, not violin.
Cello,
Cello.
it's the cello.
But like we also got a song based on Octavia's backstory, I think, too, but like the one where it's like the one called not Octavia, but like I'll have to look at it later, but like there's a song based on Octavia where they talk about you're being forced to play the cello. But like I'll look at it later, but that's pretty much what this one's about. It's about Octavia and how her childhood was just terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's just called Puppet.
Oh,
No, it's Puppet to Her Fame. I remember that Watch Pony said that.
but
Yeah, it's a puppet to her fame.
Yeah.
Puppet to Her Fame. Yeah.
Ah.
yeah, but Duct Tape, you were very excited about it. So how about you give us your input on it?
Well, as Renegade said, it's basically Octavia's backstory, and everything about it is like to the point where some people will feel uncomfortable, some people will feel sad, but a terrible childhood is basically just, as some people would say, trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
But
does
the
that
way-
justify her actions later on? No, it does not. But still.
No, it does not, but yeah.
There's always a line
But the
people
way-
will cross.
But the way that the author written its backstory was actually pretty good. A Puppeteer of Fame, I think Scribbler did a reading of that. But
I think so too. I think I remember her doing one.
Yeah. A Puppeteer of Fame, yes, it's an Octavia self-centered story, but it is a very good one.
Yeah, I heard plenty of good things about it. I have yet to actually read it, but like I thought it would be one to mention because, like I said, we don't get many creepypasta or grimdarks based on other characters besides the main six half the time.
I know there is one.
It's worth to change it up a little bit, though.
Yeah.
I know there's another one that Lost did like a year ago with not Octavia, Vinyl and... Well, Octavia's involved, but Vinyl and Dash are the main two that are in there, and it's called Screams and Silence.
Is Vinyl the one that's the DJ?
Yeah.
Just trying to remember.
DJ Palm 3.
Then
thank you.
There's some more recent good ones that Lost has done. There's that one, Into Darkness with Pinky and Rarity. There's Angel of Mercy. So there's a bunch of good ones.
Yeah, I'm just we're not going to talk too much about other creepypastas that I haven't listed here because I don't really know a lot of them. Granted, I love Scribbler and Lost stuff when they do those readings. I just don't have a chance to actually go in and sit down and watch them.
I might have to educate you later then.
I mean, I can also watch them later on my own, but like the thing is like I tend to watch stuff that I'm already aware of. Or if I'm interested in a character, I'm like, okay, I'll go watch it.
Oh, there's pretty good ones. Some of the ones that I listed off, the more recent ones.
I do the same with the regular creepypastas as well. But yeah, Puppeteer of Fame, I think that's pretty good still, just by Duct Tape's description of it and the fact that, like I said, it's a different take on like the fact that we don't get a lot of creepypastas based on other MLP characters,
especially background characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on to another one. This one is not really. It's not even a story. It's sort of like the Ben Drowned scenario.
Fuck. Here we go.
Okay.
Luna.
Cartridge.
There goes something on my computer. No, go away. It's called Luna's Game.
Yeah, Luna Game. Dude. Okay, I'm gonna start off on this one. There is a creator that some of you at least might know of. He doesn't do YouTube anymore, unfortunately. He retired about 2 or 3 years ago. I think he's only did like one other video since then. But his name is Mullet Mike. And all the way back in 2012, he did a video on Luna Game and all of its sequels when it was still floating around on the internet.
Didn't he have a guest in that one?
Yeah, he had a guest in that one. Lisa M, I believe, was the name, and he basically her and him basically talked about the premises of the game and the little screamers that were inserted in with the zalgified looking images, the psychotic looking apple bloom, all that type of thing.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for those past 10 years. The creator of Luna Game decided to reveal himself, even though he's not part of the fandom anymore, but he decided to reveal himself because he thought that being anonymous for 10 years would be a good idea, which it worked. And then he decided to reveal himself that he's the creator and decided to share a lot of the information on behind the scenes with the Luna Game. And he did create the new Luna Game executables, but without the screamers and stuff, since he doesn't like those anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the screamers were more popular way back in the early 2010s anyways.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too long on this since it's not really a creepypasta. I just wanted to mention it because it is one of those ones where we got most of those...
honorable?
Yeah, it's an honorable mention type of thing. I have another honorable mention on here after the one that I actually added on the list because we actually mentioned it earlier. Silent Ponyville.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually just reading that a couple seconds ago, just kind of skimming over it.
Well, you got Wolfhead's attention
on
that one.
Long story short, like Silent Ponyville is just based on it's based on Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was Silent Hill because the big giveaway, the fucking title, and then I'm reading the first little bit of it. I'm like, yeah, fucking Silent Hill, motherfucker.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Grimdark for MLP based off of Slender Man.
I mean, we have the Slender Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
there's that.
Well, here's the thing. I think in one of the episodes
Yeah.
of the show, there was...
Yeah, someone
a
freeze
Slender
framed
Man.
and saw the Slender Man in the background of an episode. I only know this because my friend showed me that screenshot. She took a screenshot of it and sent it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like, wait a minute.
But then they got.
Someone,
But then when
you gotta
they.
think, did someone Photoshop that?
No, actually, it was. One of the
It's
producers.
actually in the show.
Yeah, one of the producers actually put it in the show, but I think when they later released it again, they took it out.
That honestly sounds like the exact same type of scenario that happened with the new SpongeBob seasons, like in SpongeBob and Random Land, where they put in Red Mist Squidward in the random one part of the Random Land where SpongeBob and Squidward are opening up a bunch of doors, but people got frightened by it. So in future airings of the episode, they ended up removing it in most, if not all, territories.
Yeah. I'll let Wolfhead talk about this because he got very excited by it.
I was gonna say, you got his attention.
Silent Ponyville is a good Grimdark. I love it so much.
It's because it has a waifu in it.
Yes.
Wait, who's that? Who's the wife?
Pinky.
He's obsessed with the Punkus.
I was back in the day too, Wolfhead. Don't
bitch.
worry.
Kidding.
Her and Dash kept swapping back and forth between first and second place back in the day.
But yeah.
I will say that
damn.
this Grimdark has one of my favorite endings where Pinky just wins by laughing. I think that fits so perfectly.
That
That
fits,
fit-
it fits
it
for Pinky. It does.
It
The
reminds
series
you
has
that,
two endings.
It reminds you of the series premiere to the second half where Pinky's just laughing and everything.
yeah.
Wait, the series has two endings? Okay, so is there
Yeah.
like a Grimdarky ending and I guess the one because I listened to the one on Goody's channel.
Of course you listen to
The
Goodies.
ending one is called Game Over. Ending 2 is called The Truth.
Oh, I think
That's
I
all I'm
listened to
gonna
the
tell
truth.
Then that's probably what you heard of.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to go to Game Over.
Okay. Nah, I got to see how
Because I'm not gonna
depressing Game
spoil.
Over is.
But yeah, I won't. Let's not do any spoilers for Silent Ponyville because I actually do
Obviously.
I do want to look into it when I get back from camping to like
for
sit down
sure.
and listen to it. But just wanted to bring that up because it technically is a Grimdark.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones where we got like the really cool design of Fluttershy with like the little, what do you call it? The thing around her neck.
I feel like I
Noose?
feel like
No, not a noose. It's like where she's skin and bones, has like chains around
In my
her.
head, I was like, "Is it a noose?"
No.
No, that's dumb. I'm not gonna say that.
Sorry,
And
what
then
was
come
it?
Out of nowhere, like,
I don't
noose?
know. I'll show it to you later, Wolfhead, because like I have the image on my computer still.
What are you
feel-
calling me, Wolfhead?
I feel like that this I feel like that this
Oh,
podcast
spiked collar.
topic could
No, it's not.
spiked
It's not. It's
collar.
not a spiked collar either. It's like
Yeah, Golden Clad said that.
yeah. I don't think it's a spiked collar. It's not like a spiked collar. It's something else. Like it's dug into
A
her
choker?
skin. It's
A
dug.
choker?
It's dug into her skin. It like goes into her skin.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
fucking.
Yeah.
That's.
But anyways,
Yeah.
oh no, that's My Little Amnesia. Never mind.
But yeah, I feel like this podcast topic could have a part 2. Like if you eventually go into all like the more modern ones I listed off earlier from Lost
Yeah.
channel, I do feel like it could be a part 2.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now that I mentioned it, My Little Amnesia is also another one I forgot to mention. But like, it's based on amnesia, obviously.
Yeah, no surprise there. Back in the day, you
But I'm not
did have
gonna-
a lot of grimdark
I'm-
stories about MLP based off of popular games at the time.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna mention it too long because like I didn't plan on it. But this is the second honorable mention I had on here, and I know it's technically not a Grimdark or a Creepypasta, but it's got dark themes to it, and I want to mention it mainly
Yeah.
because I also met the person who made
Made
it.
it.
Elements
Wow.
of Insanity.
I heard that was not a bad one.
Elements of
not,
Insanity.
it's
yeah.
not bad,
Oh.
and I got to meet Shadow a couple times at BabsCon, and he's very
He seemed
nice.
cool.
He's
Yeah,
a very
I
nice
heard his
guy.
shadow seemed cool. I remember when
Yeah.
he did the SFM animated 3D magic lesson for Bliss.
Yeah. Oh, hey Piggy, welcome to the chat.
Including scary people.
But yeah, I love the elements of insanity as a whole because once again, it's an alternative universe type of scenario, which I love. And in general, I like the designs of the main 6 as they get changed over into insanity. My favorite one, or my favorite 2, are Pink as Cupcake and Fluttershout. I love their designs so much. And the fact that we got Cutie Mark monsters and we got Derpagun. I love Derpagun so much. She's so derp.
What the fuck is that?
I know another one of my friends, like, if you just had barely mentioned this to him, he'll talk your ear off about this. I think he even has the official, since Inverted Shadow started making them more publicly available again, since when they were private for a while, one of my other friends is one of the ones able to get his hands on the official Elements of Insanity models.
Oh, yeah. But
I like Rainbrand.
Interesting.
I love Inverted Shadow's stuff. Like, shout out to Shadow. He is amazing. He's an amazing person. And, like, just being able to, like, meet him and talk about Elements of Insanity with him, because I think I'm one of the few people he's met that still makes fan art for him. Mm-hmm. I made Cutie Mark monster art for him. And then he commissioned me at BabsCon to draw a rare fruit. So, that was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, it was, like, I like Shadow's stuff. Like, he's a really good storyteller. I mean, sure, like, a lot of the stuff for Elements of Insanity are shorts most of the time. And you have to, like, put them in order to view them.
Yeah.
But, like, they're still pretty good story-wise.
Unrelated to the topic, but I coughed. Am I going to get my throat slit now?
No, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
All right, put him up against the wall and someone kick him in the head. Let's
No. Put him in the Pegasus device. Then we'll tweet.
Where's my knife? Where's my knife?
Duct tape. Then we have to put you in the Pegasus device because you're a Pegasus.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's just run. Let's just run already.
I'm a nerd. I don't even belong here.
Well, we have one that's we have a person in here that's not even a pony. So
no.
Yeah, get
not
him.
yet.
Get him.
Wait, who were you saying?
I'm already dead.
Wolfhead, who are you saying doesn't belong here? What?
I don't belong here because I'm a birth pony.
But yeah, so does anyone else have anything to say about any of the creepypastas we mentioned before we end the podcast today?
Chat, if you're going to listen to any freaking Grimdarks, listen to the one that Lost did. What is it called? Hole in My Face. Hole in My Face in this Applejack.
Oh,
okay. Have we talked about Shirley's Garden or no?
What is that?
No, and we're not really talking about any of the ones that are not lesser known. I mentioned the ones that are more widely known by the fandom.
Yeah, the ones that are more obscure could probably make for a good part two. Like, I'm even seeing one right now on Lost Channel that was posted literally a couple weeks ago called Evernight, and Applejack is in the thumbnail, so...
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, I don't want to, like, drag on too much of other creepypastas because we don't know a lot of them because a lot of them are more lesser known.
I don't think Grogar Heartwarming story counts.
No, I don't think that. No, anything involving Grogar does not count.
The ending is pretty fucked up though. Does it still count? Does it not count now?
I don't know, to be honest, because like if you say Heartwarming in the title, that's nothing scary.
Yeah. I mean,
unless you put Massacre at the end of it or something, who knows?
Fuck off.
Yeah. So, what I'm thinking that we're going to do for the next podcast, I'm just going to let everyone know this right now. I'm thinking for the next podcast, depending on who wants to join for that, I'm wanting to talk about the Walking Dead Dead City episodes.
Okay.
I don't know who would be interested in joining me on that because I would be just ranting and all that on the Dead City show because it's a recent thing I've been watching.
I don't think I've watched that yet.
Yeah, it's a new spin-off that came out on AMC Plus, so
then I can't. I don't think I can watch that
service. Fantastic.
Unless you guys just want to join it and hear about me rant.
I wouldn't mind actually because I can put in my own input like
I know that
does this make sense and all that shit.
I know that certain people that I know
I ain't giving you fucking popcorn.
I'll make my own popcorn.
Hold
Just
on.
kidding.
I'm still on the podcast, Grandma. I'm almost done. I know. I'll be out there in a second.
Outtakes.
This is not gonna
Blooper reel.
This is not gonna be an outtake or a blooper reel because it's live.
This is just a fucking live stream. Chill the fuck out.
But yeah, so
Blooper
we're gonna
reel.
talk about Dead City next weekend when I come back from my trip. Because I'll be coming back on Saturday. It gives me time the next day in the morning to watch the next episode that comes out, and then we could talk about it. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and head off. I need to go figure out what my grandma came in to tell me, and then I'll be back on Discord on my other computer later for you guys if you guys still want to chat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I'm
Because
gonna go-
I kind of want to figure out this PayPal shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Help me
go.
out.
I'm gonna go. Fuck off and die. I
But-
mean, fuck off and do my D&D campaign.
But
Fuck off and die.
but thank
Have fun
you
with the
to
D&D,
the
by the way.
thank you to our 2 new followers. You guys helped me reach the follower goal that I had. I'll have to check later to see if that reached the area of affiliate for me because the website's weird. It shows that I have less things than I do. It's weird. But
I only have 20 followers. I have like 20 more to go.
but yeah,
How many
so
followers do I have?
30 more to go.
yeah, thank you to those who followed today. And we will see you all next Sunday for the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Say bye, everyone.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Bye.
Of course you fucking say that shit.